Nas takes the high road and 21 humbles himself. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Moth. If you are rocking with this content, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as that would be greatly appreciated. So this brand new track, One Mic, One Gun, from Queensbridge icon and one of the greatest MCs of all time, Nasir Jones, and accomplished Atlanta trap rapper 21 Savage. It comes just 2 weeks after 21 declared that Nas wasn't relevant. 21 did manage to walk it back, and I'm sure there were those who predicted that a collaboration could occur from the little dispute, but I'm sure there were others who would have loved nothing more than, if this little mini conflict would have turned into a full-blown battle of diss tracks where Nas would just ether 21, because battling is the norm when rappers have conflict. The hope is that it doesn't bleed into the streets, but sometimes it unfortunately does. But the goal is for it to stay on wax, as always. That competitive back and forth spirit has always been a part of the game. But instead of Nas unleashing verbal murder and destroying this younger trap artist, Nas decides to build with him, to take the high road and do a collab record with him. And this can really be looked at as Nas bridging the gap, like the song title, between the golden era MCs and contemporary trap artists. It's also politically shrewd of Nas, if you really think about it, and just a classy move altogether to have a song like this that it's really hard to hate on. Like, you kind of really have to be an asshole to hate the concept of this track. But more importantly, this move is consistent with a lot of Nas's messaging on his latest KD3 album, a project that hasn't left my rotation since it dropped. And throughout KD3, Nas talked about the need for unity in hip hop and a call to put the guns down and to stop the shooting. So with this new song, it is very evident that Nas is staying true to what he says in his rhyme. He's raising the bar for the OGs, setting a good example for younger artists who may have conflict. So Nas and 21 are reminding us that it's okay to have a conversation. It's okay to handle a conflict responsibly without going to war, without disrespectful things that maybe you can't take back. Yeah, I know it's very grown up, mature thinking that some people might not be able to embrace, because let's face it, there are some folks who just want a battle, or they just like the drama. But at age 49, Nas is just not in that headspace anymore. As he indicated on the bars, no back and forth, I did it back then. Obviously, he's referencing his classic beef with Ho. But getting right into this song itself, the instrumental by Hit Boy has a glorious, celebratory, horn-laced trap beat that feels like victory lap music, something luxurious, reserved for the bosses. It's a solid instrumental, with an upbeat, feel-good quality. It is commercial sounding and in step with, the luxury trap aesthetic. 21 opens with the lines, "When you turn to legend, no such thing as relevance." So here he could be seen as giving Nas his props, while also eating his words from Clubhouse. Nas talks about being fresh off tour with the Wu, only to find that his crib was robbed, and he learned that 2 white people actually did it, but most assumed they were black. And Nas does take a subtle jab at the critics who employed 21's logic. It's cool to be mainstream, but I'd rather be timeless. 21 Savage's verse, I actually thought it was dope, but this shouldn't come as much of a surprise for me, as I've mentioned before that I do like some of 21 Savage's music. I don't like what he said about Nas initially, but I got to give credit where credit is due. He has shown some growth over the years. He came a long way. And we can see some of this maturity on lines like, "F the jewelry, I'd rather buy land and invest successfully." So he's showing us that, there's more to him than just being a materialistic trap artist. He manages to give Nas more flowers with bars like, "If Savage like the capo, that means Escobar to Dawn, one mic, one gun." So he's putting Nas on a higher level than himself, in essence, humbling himself. And I ain't going against no legend, dude. I'm trying to be next in line. At the end, Nas wraps it all up by encouraging 21 and Kodak to get it together and to be big for the South. The Godson also boasts that he's on his second run and on a new wave, which all checks out as we know that Nas has been on this unprecedented run with Hit Boy ever since 2020. So my overall thoughts was that I did enjoy this track. Will it be a top 10 song of the year for me? Likely not, but I'll tell you what, I love the idea, the concept, the gesture, the sentiment. You know, I could appreciate what it represented since I'm a little older and I guess a little more mature. Probably the younger me would have wanted more chaos. It shows Nas as the OG, in a position to try to find common ground with the youth, and it shows 21 Savage's willingness to learn and to be humble. And it also shows both of their desire to separate the regional and the demographic divide that has been plaguing hip-hop really since the 90s. I'm sure there will be some heads out there who will not like this record because Nas is rapping over a trap beat, but newsflash, if you like any of the KD albums, there were a couple trap beats on each one. So, and there will be folks who will be turned off to this record because it does feature lyrics from 21 Savage, and I get it, he's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but the man wasn't trash here. Will this particular record inspire other rappers to try to do the same and, potentially de-escalate conflicts before the stakes get too high? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not, but it's a start. And low key, before I forget, this track does show Nas's Machiavellian side, his cunningness and his savvy to get 21 on the same track, to eat his words in the most disrespectful and diplomatic way. But let me know your thoughts on this record in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but as always, it's peace and blessings. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Nas, 21 Savage, one mic, one gun, one.